So let me get on to the second one of these waves. So we are in an age of exponentials like never before. This here is basically from Gerd Leonard's book, The Digital Transformation of Business Society, and actually shows exactly what are the top trends that are coming our way. This now has actually transformed into something even simpler. This is coming from the white paper from Cathie Woods. If you don't know who Cathie Woods is, she set up something called Ark Investments a good decade back, where she's like, you know what? I believe in this new future we're going, and I'm going to create ETFs or electronic traded funds, which map out against these different waves that are coming. And she identified 5 different waves, which link to 14 different technologies. And in the white paper, it actually shows how these waves right now, as of 2020, are still less, or 2021, are just hitting $10 trillion in size. So all of the companies I'm about to show you, and these waves, they're actually at the moment at only like 1/6 of where they're going to be. And she's actually showing that by 2030, we're going to be up to 60 trillion, which is getting close to the size of all the stock markets in the world put together already with what's about to come. Going one further, she shows how all of these waves from the past, which are everything from when TV showed up, when auto showed up, airlines showed up, electricity showed up, that these all pale in significance when you actually combine the waves of what's about to come and the impact it's going to have on our economies and how we're going to be designing our world to be a very, very different world that we live in. And here's the white paper, by the way. And the white paper was put together 2 years before her fund had, you can see here, is like 840% growth in the fund. And all my investments that I'm making at the moment on the stock market, other than the ones that are in the edtech space, because I'm in edtech, these are all connected up directly to the 5 different waves that she's identified here. So here's what's great about this, right? She's got this here, which is the slides showing the big ideas of this year. This came out in January and actually shows all the very latest things that are taking place and what is the size of the market. So this isn't about how is one company going to do against other companies. It's who's leading the market and how big is that market going to become. So she's got all the data on AI here. She's got a massive research team around all of this. She's showing how, the AI is going to impact the next level of the internet. She's showing how the internet is in a $13 trillion market now as of 2020. That's been over the last, as you can see here, 23 years. Within the next 17 years, that 13 trillion becomes 20 trillion. And the 2 trillion, which is the deep learning, the AI-driven internet, the big data internet, is going from 2 trillion to 30 trillion. So think about that. This is 15 trillion in total, going to 50 trillion. And this is not made up numbers. She's walked through what is the impact on each of these. So you don't have to go out and do all the research yourself. You have to read the research at the macro level. This is not the research in just one company. It's research on entire industries which are coming. So this is virtual worlds, how they're working. There's detail in here on elements like digital wallets, how they're already taking over in China, where they're going to be bigger. Effectively, digital wallets means the end of banks. We're going to talk about that a little bit later today. You can see here how much digital wallets has overtaken all the big banks put together. And then you've also got basic, which means everyone's transacting without a need for a banker. And then how that then links into what that means for Bitcoin, right? And what this means in terms of the size of where Bitcoin's going to go and why they're now investing within Bitcoin as well. We're talking more about Bitcoin and where this fits into all of this as we go. But this research is like super valuable. This slide show, like I read this in January and I made a lot of the investment decisions that I've been making. There's many other people out there. Cathie Woods is one of them. I think she's the best, which is why I'm pointing you in her direction. You can make your own decisions with her as well. But what's really nice about this is that if you're in America, you can invest straight in the ETF. If you just go straight onto your trading account and basically look for the code number here. So she has one which is for autonomous vehicles. She's got one for next generation internet, one for genomics, one for fintech. I just started up a brand new one for space exploration, and then a general one, which covers all of them, which is the Ark Innovation one. So I'll give you an example, right? When I decided, okay, I'm going to start investing in next generation internet because it's growing so fast, then this one here, she shares with you exactly how big her fund now is. She's got $6.9 billion under management. She shows exactly what is the areas that she's focused at right now. And then she actually goes down into the actual specific stocks that she's picked, right? And exactly how much of each one that she's bought. So right now I'm invested in Tesla, which, you know, is Elon Musk's company. I'm invested in Teladoc, which is all, and you say, well, what's Teladoc got to do with next generation internet? Well, Teladoc basically gives you on the medical side, live doctors on your mobile phone. So you don't have to go to the hospital. And it's only in America right now. And it's just going international. So this is like growing very fast and is using the fact that the next level of internet is fully interactive where you can connect with anyone anywhere. Very similar to what we do in GeniusU. Square, this is Jack Dorsey's company, same person that launched Twitter. And he's just bought Jay-Z's company, which is called Tidal, because he is turning Square into a full ecosystem for services-based businesses, just the same way Amazon did for retail-based businesses, where you can actually pay in Bitcoin. And Coinbase, I'm also invested in. Coinbase obviously just had its IPO, and it's really the marketplace for all cryptocurrencies. But the bottom line here is, without me going through everything, and I'm not recommending to anyone here anything as financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only, but I'm telling you exactly what it is that I do, and others who are coming on board, our speakers, will be sharing with you what they do as well and the way that they do it. But what's really important here is to know that all this detail is here. And if you actually want to get even more, go to the investor resources and you can go to downloads. And let's say you say, okay, I'm not actually as interested in next generation internet, right? My big thing is fintech. Well, this actually gives you the full summary prospectus, fact sheet on her platform, what she's invested in right now within fintech. So you've got PayPal, Zillow, C, which is the equivalent of something like it's online payments in Southeast Asia, and it's going global faster than the likes of WePay. But again, you can go do your own research. Bottom line is, all of this is there hidden in plain sight, which means that you have access to all of it as you go forward as well. So these different technologies, and the biggest ones are all on here. You've got blockchain, DNA sequencing, artificial intelligence, energy storage, robotics. They all interlink with each other. These are all exponential. They're all growing, not by 10% per year. They're all growing by in the region of between 30 to 100% per year, the entire industry. So we're living in these times where the last time this happened was the beginning of the internet in 1995, but we're now shifting to a very, very different world as a result of what's happening here. So the third one here, the meme generation, I think is one of the most fundamental shifts in what's going on with our society right now that most people aren't aware of.